trial court up through appellate courts in front of the administrative commissions or other state agencies. We're general practitioners from a public body standpoint. Both Aaron and I keep apprised of our clients' needs. We're a tag team of sorts in that we have constant communication as to what our clients' needs are, what the projects are that are current. Because in any given time, I may be in trial, she may be in trial, we may be in depositions, and we want to make sure that the city public body clients have access to one or the other of us at any given time. We have numerous partners that can step in and work on public issues, that have experience in these public issues. However, Aaron and I are the primary contacts, and we make it a point that we're both primary contacts, so that if the city has an issue, and lo and behold, it may be an emergency or an urgent issue, we're going to be there for you. As set out in our response to the RFP, which I believe has been distributed to the council, we focus our practice on advising public bodies. We serve as a first responder for public body issues as they come along. If that's an issue where some citizen has contacted the city and has a complaint or an issue that they want addressed, they want to speak with legal counsel, if the city directs us to do it, we are open to doing that, because we will work in the trenches. We're not in an ivory tower. We want to make sure that whatever legal needs you have, we're able to serve those. As I said before, we represent the governing body. We advise the elected officials. We assist administrative and executive officers. We will provide counsel on public records, public meetings, executive sessions, if there are community interactions, if it's responding to personnel actions or HR issues. And Aaron is certainly the go-to person when it comes to HR issues. You want to add something to it?
Sure, yeah, so as Eric indicated, my name is Erin Fennerty. I've been with Lubos Cobb for a little over 10 years. We're one of the oldest continuing law firms in Eugene, and I've had the privilege of working my entire Oregon career at Lubos Cobb. For public bodies, I handle a lot of the employment issues, HR issues that come up, a lot of civil rights, so not uncommon for me to be dealing with a bully complaint, dealing with an EEOC complaint, dealing with an OSHA complaint, also manage and oversee a lot of internal investigations related to alleged misconduct, or also just concerns about general practice, whether general practice and procedure is being followed in accordance with the city or the public entities' requirements. Also deal a lot with advising boards in terms of issues that come up during meetings, anticipated issues that might be coming up for future meetings, reviewing policies, making suggestions as to amendments, providing drafting instructions. We are mindful of our clients' budgets and attempt to provide services in an efficient manner, which is one of the reasons why Eric and I do a lot of tag team work in terms of when we get an assignment in, we will check with the other person saying, hey, got a call from this entity, got a call from this public body on this topic, have you been working with them at all on this issue? So that way we don't have duplicative or overlapping services. We try to keep our fees generally low. Because when we are one of the oldest firms in the Eugene and Lake County area, we view ourselves as being an integral part of that community. And so we view the rates that we charge as being, we like to keep them on the lower end so that we view that as a contribution to our community. So I'm going to pass this back to Eric, and so if you have any questions for us, we're happy to answer them.
And while the response to the RFP, I think, is a little more detailed, we certainly run the gamut of assisting with developing rules, bylaws, policies, ordinances, public contracting rules, whether you're under the AG model rules or whether you want to draft your own, have tailored rules that are going to be good for your procurement, your contracting. And we are available to assist in drafting, we're available to assist in analyzing, or whatever is needed in the way of public contracting work. Risk management, claims management is something that we do on a regular basis. We assist in investigations as needed. And again, each one of these areas that we work in, it's a matter of what service do you need? And we're not here to foist services upon the city, rather it's a matter of being responsive to the city in what they need. If it's hearings for a local contract review board, if it's real property, whether it is acquisition or disposition of that property, whether it's environmental protections or covenants and how to best address our natural resources and water rights. These are all areas in which we've had experience over the past decades, and we are happy to share that with the city. There's capital improvements. Oakridge is a great city that is very active. It's got a lot of resources that is in its own infrastructure, and maintaining that infrastructure, building upon your heritage, is something that you have as a special resource of your own. Telecommunications was mentioned earlier, and that is more and more common, especially now with 5G and everyone wanting to have space on the poles for small cell deployment. And how do you navigate those leases and rights, and along with the state mandates and state and federal mandates as to how you need to make that available. Okay, very good, thank you. And so a key issue is, what is the city council actually seeking from general legal counsel? That's a big question. How can the legal services be effectively and economically delivered by general counsel, and then be complementary to any other consultants that you have, any other special counsel you have? And Lou Cobb, we're used to working with consultants and special counsel so that you can have a combined effort on your behalf. So as to services, who do you want us to work through? What personnel are involved? What delegation is the city providing to work with city council? And through, is that through the city administrator or other staff? And so, like, we serve as general counsel for the Eugene Water and Electric Board, and we have two contracts with the Eugene Water and Electric Board. One where we're providing services of legal counsel to staff, and then a second contract which is providing legal counsel services to the board. And that is certainly a viable option for many communities. And so, as Aaron mentioned, Lou Cobb is invested in the community, and here we are at the gateway of the Willamette National Forest and all your resources. This is in our neighborhood, and we hope that you give us good consideration on this matter.
Council, do you have questions?
I do, I have one. In your billing, when you send your billing out, who redacts that? If the billing comes out to the staff or council for the billing, who redacts that paperwork? Do you guys redact it before it gets to us?
By redact?
So we generally don't redact our bills, because our bills is the opportunity for you to review our services that we provide at the time that we spent on those services and have an understanding. Generally, with our public bodies, we have a point person who's been appointed to receive those bills in order to review them. And then if there's questions about charges that have been incurred or services that have been incurred, then the point person can reach out to various individuals and entities within the public body to ascertain whether or not those services were appropriately requested. And then that point person then authorizes payment. So it doesn't go out
That's
to.
internal to the city.
Yes.
We provide you with detailed billings of description of what was done. If you wish to have the point person of who it was that we were working with, we would have that listed there, as well as the hours and the charges.
So if it was a point person that was the problem, would that person have staff be redacting it, or would you guys redact it?
So if you're talking, and please correct me if I'm wrong. So for example, if the city is receiving counsel as to an internal issue with an employee, your concern is that billing going to go to the employee, and perhaps it's someone who's higher up in the department, is that billing going to go to that person who's, with whom the conflict is? No, the idea is the billing gets sent to a central person, generally in finance or bookkeeping, and they authorize the payment. There have been a number of situations where we have advised public bodies where there has been a conflict, for example, between the administrative officer and the board, for example. In cases like that, an arrangement is generally worked out with the board or the governing entity, because that's our primary point person, our primary client, and generally the bill gets submitted to, for example, the executive assistant or someone who works for the board or the governing entity. But that's generally an issue that gets worked out on an individual one-on-one basis depending upon the situation.
And we usually try to do that at the inception so that we can open up a different point number in our billing system, so that all of those billings, whatever needs to be segregated, is set off in a separate billing file so that that can be directed differently.
Right? So exactly what experience do you have with municipalities like ours?
Well,
Because I'm hearing about electric covers and stuff. How does that correlate?
we represent the Eugene Water and Electric Board, which is the City of Eugene department of the City of Eugene, this municipal utility. So it's all under the same municipal code and municipal laws that we need to follow. And I've been working with that for the past 23 years, and Aaron for the past 9 with me on it. And then we also do public body work in the school districts. Many years ago, I had worked for Harang Long, that was the City of Eugene City Attorney's Office. I also worked for the Lane County Office of Legal Counsel from the county council perspective. And from the clerk perspective, yes, from 1992 to 1994, I was the law clerk for the Honorable Morris K. Burton in the Lane County Circuit Court.
And one of our associates is also a former clerk, and another one of our partners is a former, I think
Yes.
most of our partners are former clerks.
At least 2 others.
Okay.
2 other partners.
Yes.
Council, any questions?
Thank you very much for your time.
We
appreciate it.
Very nice.